Hey, Tyler here with Sara Cervantes, the owner of Urban Nook in downtown Idaho Falls. If you haven't gone in and visited that salon, you need to. She did such an amazing job. It is, I think, one of the coolest looking places in all of Idaho. So we're in my bug today. We're going to drive around. So Sara, why not go be a bank teller? Why do you want to be in the beauty space? Not anything wrong with being a bank teller,
There's
by the way.
not anything wrong with being a bank teller. I always loved doing hair. Even in high school, junior high school, I was perming my mom's hair when I was 11 years old in our kitchen, and I don't even know where we got the perm rods, but we did. So I've always loved it. I've always wanted to be fluid with my schedule with my kids, even in beauty school.
Yeah.
It took me almost 20 months to finish just because my kids absolutely always came first.
Yeah.
So it's a good career for a fluid schedule.
Yeah, so you get to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
How many? You got two
I have 2 kids.
kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you get to be a mom. You get to make good money. You get to have a cool space.
Mm-hmm.
So living the dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So right now, I mean, we'll just jump right into it.
Okay.
There's some challenges.
Yes.
And what's some of, well, I'm going to say there's going to be some great things that come from this because business always finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of the challenges that you're facing with the stay-at-home order, and specifically our governor targeting certain industries and saying you're not good enough? Well, he's not saying that, but he's not allowing us to
Not
open.
essential.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a struggle because bills are still coming in. Bills are still coming in as far as our mortgages, or for my situation, I have a landlord, I rent. Bills are coming in as far as my cell phones, my kids' cell phones, my car insurance, my life insurance, and then that's not even counting my salon space.
Yeah.
I don't own the building. We have a pretty good-sized, hefty overhead because we are in the heart of downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And that bill is still having to be paid.
Yeah.
Whether people think, there's no programs yet set for us to dip into.
Yeah.
And we have exhausted options.
Yeah.
We really have. My situation, like you said at the meeting on Friday, is not unique.
Yeah.
I'm one of many, and we have exhausted our options, and now we are at the mercy of what anybody decides to help us with as far as any kind of aid, but right now it has not come through. So that's a huge challenge for us right now.
Yeah, and I do think that there's, and our governor has encouraged public shaming,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it can go on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
What's your? I mean, I just have a real issue with trying to manage people through fear, shame,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. But I don't know, what's your opinion? What do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Because that's something that a lot of salons aren't opening because of that.
Well, I think as afraid as everyone is of the virus, which is something to be very scared of, everyone is just as afraid of the social shaming, of the reputation that one would get if we opened, and that is what I am against. I don't know if it is my deep Native American roots, or if it is me being in a few abusive relationships, but I despise bullying.
Yeah.
I am a heck of a helicopter mom when my kids are bullied, when my friends, my family, or myself, or my business, I despise it. So I think I know everyone's situation is unique,
Mm-hmm.
whether personal or professional, and the shaming for either side is unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Yeah. No, I think we can all get along, and I think that it has gotten to a place where if you don't believe what I believe, then we can't be friends.
Right.
And I just don't agree with that. I feel like I practice that of acceptance. So if someone wants to keep their shop closed, I accept.
Yes.
Do it, right?
Yes. I think if you stay closed, I think that's beautiful, and keep everybody safe to your standards and your opinion. And if you need to open, or you need to do hair out of your house, you do what you have to do to put food on the family for just yourself or your kids. Or for my situation, I mean, we're having meetings and brainstorming like crazy just how we're going to manipulate certain bills to stay afloat.
Yeah.
So that has, I mean, every situation is unique. And unless you are going to throw your personal bills and your personal problems on a table for everyone to examine, then I think opinions need to be very welcoming and accepting and loving.
Yeah. No, I think that's where it needs to come from. And I can't say, I mean, I've gotten into a few arguments with people on this, but then I'm just like, why am I arguing? Mm-hmm. I need to support them, and they should consider supporting me. Mm-hmm. And today's about you, but we did choose to open our shop after we put policy and procedure in place to mitigate risk, and that's all anybody can be asked to do, because these seasonal things happen and have been happening every year. Anyway, what would you say to somebody that's considering working in the beauty space? Because by and large, it brings you joy and satisfaction, but knowing what we've just stepped into, what would you say to somebody that's, well, I'm considering it, but I don't know?
And I can honestly say at this point, I wouldn't even know
what
to say. I wouldn't even know. I know I'm encouraging my daughters. My youngest daughter wants to be a nail tech, and I got her supplies, and she's got a light and a pedicure tub, but I will highly discourage her to do it because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard when things like this happen and there are no procedures for us, and unless we support each other, really, that's kind of the only support we have. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say. I know it has made me happy, and like you said, we're going to find a way, and we're going to survive, because we do.
Yeah.
But it has been very hard during this time.
So if you weren't working in the beauty space, what would you do?
And it's funny, and those who know me well, I would own a coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
So I have always wanted, and they're essential.
Yes.
Which is funny, because I think we're essential, and I passed a cookie shop that's open, and there's a vape shop next to you guys
they're
that's
open.
open.
Yep. They got to get their vape on.
Right? No, but if I'm not doing hair, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So that's where you'd find me, is in a coffee shop.
Yeah. So I think what ends up happening, or what I hope ends up happening, is that policy and procedure are put into place, because I think these things should be working when it is flu season.
Yes.
We as a society and globally should be taking precautions. I don't think those precautions are to shut down.
Right.
But what type of precautions do you think could help mitigate the spread?
I mean, we're going to do the same thing that you guys are going to do. It's going to be by appointment only. If we do have a walk-in, we're going to have something set up outside, and because we've got 2 stylists that rely on walk-ins and those call-ins, one particularly that just moved from out of state that's brand new to this area in the industry, and so we're going to be limiting those, but we're going to find a way for those, and we're going to have same-day appointments available, sanitizing everything, washing hands, but not necessarily going through our break room,
right?
Because you got to go through a break room at Jacob Grant building to go to the restroom, so we're going to have it go to our dispense, constantly and religiously doing the barbicide jars and spraying everything down with alcohol and wearing the face masks and changing the capes constantly and rotating the laundry more often. So our industry they have to have a high standard of cleanliness, and so we're just going to up our game on that and ask our clients questions, especially ones that are new to the salon, as far as were they tested for it, did they feel they needed tested for it, have they had a cough, do you have a fever, stuff like that. I don't know if I want to check temperatures.
I wonder
really
about
don't.
that. We have a gauge. We find it not to be very accurate. We would do it if required, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a tough one,
It
right?
is a tough one. I have a certain stylist, and she's so angry about it that she would do a temperature check another way. It's just
give them an
hard.
option.
We'll give them an option. It's hard. We're new to all of this.
Yeah.
This isn't anything that any of us have navigated.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to stay together. I think that grace gives us the power to make change happen, and a lot of this has been handled gracefully, but a lot of it has not.
Yeah.
So
No, and I hope that that we can all realize that this isn't just a one-time thing, that this is going to happen, and when it happens, when there is an alert of something like this, that we step up the game. I think our game is already stepped up.
Yes.
All the things that you were talking about, majority of that is already policy and procedure in place for our industry, right?
And we're inspected religiously every year. And whatever letter we get, which for the Urban Nook has always been an A, but whatever letter we get, we are expected to have that hanging.
That has to show.
So our clients and our stylists in the community knows where we land in our inspection. So that too, I mean, everybody's pretty strict with us, and we're strict with ourselves. And I think that by being supportive of anyone's decision to survive during this, by no means makes you an advocate for carelessness.
Right.
And you asked me a question on Friday as we were walking into that meeting, and that killed me that you asked me that question. And you asked me if I felt comfortable walking in with you. And we did get a couple smirks walking in that I noticed, but that's not okay. And if that by some way makes them more virtuous on a soapbox, then that does, but I don't think that that's right.
No, and I'm old enough that I no longer care what people think of me. So, but what's your most favorite part of owning the Urban Nook? Because there's a lot of great things that have come from that shop. So.
I think just how proud I am of my fellow women. I don't have any men right now working for me, but I'm just a hub where people can work, and I get so proud of them that they're so amazing, and they're amazing women and amazing stylists, and they're leaders themselves. And when I get to overhear how their clients feel about them, and then our clients are speaking amongst each other, and I'm just proud of my stylists in general. I think that is my absolute favorite.
No, just and you get to come in, collaborate, work together. It's just, I love the atmosphere of the salons and the barbershops.
And the chatter and the laughter, and everybody knows each other's children and husbands and boyfriends, and it is a family atmosphere. And where I'm all about family in my private life, it helps that I get to be all about family in my professional life too.
So then we had Indy Fowler brought up a good point in that meeting on Friday, which was that we are influencers. So tell us what you want the public to know, because the public listens to us. So is there any advice that you would give to the public during these trying times?
If you're sick, stay home. If you're sick, stay home. Support your stylist. Support your self-employed people, whatever that may be. My mom has been a massage therapist for 24 years. She is well known in our community, and she's highly respected. My sister has taught art, and she owns her shop in Blackfoot for the last 11 years. Support them in any which way you can, and at least check on them. That helps and fills our hearts too, just to be checked on. So.
Well, no, and I've been so proud of you, because you came to our school, and it was great to watch you just grind it out, make it through school, and then you went out, worked really hard. But again, if you haven't been to the Urban Nook, you need to just walk in and see the place. But I highly recommend you get services there. But you're just, the way that the decor and everything that you put together was just classic, just kind of like you. So
thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, any parting words you want to give them?
Be kind.
There we go.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Moving forward. We're all going to move forward. Do it with grace.
There we go. All right. Peace.
Thank you.